Alright guys, so today we're going to talk about perfect squares and perfect trinomials. So let's take a look at our perfect squares list. Cool. Now, to factor the difference of two squares, you're going to notice that you're going to have something squared minus something else squared. Typically that's first term, or that a is going to be an x squared with some random number in front of it or no number at all. Ooh, mouse, what are you doing? Ooh, what are you doing? Moving stuff on me, sorry. My, having some technical difficulties over here. So typically the a part is going to be an x squared. The b would be the numbers. Now, when you factor this, it's going to be the a and the a, the square root of a, squared over here, and b, with the signs being 1 plus 1 minus. So if we take a look at the following. First one is x squared minus 16, so I have my two sets of parentheses. The only thing that multiplies to x squared is x and x. And then we're going to talk about what multiplies to negative 16. Well, if I take the square root of 16, that's 4. And we don't have a middle term, it ends up going to 0, so 4 minus 4 will give me that term as 0. Number 2, same idea. A times a gives me a squared. Square root of 121 is 11. Now, it doesn't matter where I put the plus and the minus as long as I have a minus and a plus. So the first time I put the positive first, second one I put the negative first, it doesn't matter as long as I have them someplace. Alright, now this one's a little backwards, but it's still perfect squares. I can still take the square root of 36, which is 6 and 6. Then I'm going to have minus d and plus d. So same idea, number 4. Square root of 169 is 13. Ooh. When I go ahead and do the square root of 8 squared, y to the 8th, remember we divide that by 2, so I'm going to have minus y to the 4th and plus y to the 4th. Now these next ones have numbers in front of my x's, but we're going to do it in the same way. So the square root of 4x squared will be 2x and, 2x. And then the square root of 64 will be plus 8 and minus 8. Square root of 100, what am I doing? The square root of 100 is 10, so 10x and 10x. And then I'm going to go ahead and take the square root of 81y to the 12th. So minus 9y to the 6th and plus 9y to the 6th. Alright, go ahead and do these ones on your own. We'll check them in a moment. Let's pause your video. Cannot write today. Grrr. Alright, so those should be your 4 little practice problems. So let's go ahead and talk about perfect trinomials. So these are when your first one and last ones are perfect, but instead of being the difference of 2 squares, because these are difference, subtraction is difference, these are going to be trinomials. So the first one is going to be, or the middle, this one has a middle term. So what we're going to do on these is we're going to start these the same as normal. So we have x and x. So I'm telling you, we're going to take a look. Is this a perfect square? Can I take the square root of that? I can. That's 12. So it's going to be plus 12 and plus 12. The reason it's positive is because this is positive and this is positive. The only way to add to 24 is positive 12 and positive 12. So I have x and x. This time I have a negative here, so we're going to have minus minus. The reason being is minus times minus will be a positive, or negative times negative is positive, but negative minus negative will give me a negative here. So what's the square root of 400? Good, 20. X and x, square root of 225 is 15. So we're going to have 2 negatives, because I have a negative sign there. This one is a little bit more intensive. The reason being is we have perfect squares in front now. So it's the square root of 121. Good, should be 11, so I have 11x first in both of them. Then I'm going to take the square root of 16. So plus 4 and plus 4. I think... yeah, these are my last 4, so I want you to try these and check them. Hey, my sign should not be these. Negative and negative. I overlooked those. Sorry, guys. Other ones are correct. Alright, see you later.